This weekend, Birds of Prey fell off with another 56% decline. If you look at how much money was made over the weekend, you see $7,500,000 domestically for a total of $73,024,015. What we're looking at in this is a movie that may well lose money at the end of the run, and well, we'll go over that right now. So hey there. So today I want to return to that wonderful world of marketing where apparently you can go out and you can crash some huge commodity, something like Harley Quinn, simply by going out and, well, you know how that went. I've been watching, and that drop-off is quite egregious. If you look at this in front of you here, what you have are the weekend numbers. What they do is rank this. You have the title. You have the weekend, how much you made there, if that's a plus or a minus, how many locations or theaters that's in, whether that's a plus or a minus as well, what you're making for average per location, how much your domestic box office is, how long that's been opened, and the distributor. Now, what's interesting about this is that at a number 3, you're actually dropping off the ways you are. I mean, you're going to drop off money. That's an expectation. How much you drop off? Well, if you consistently drop off 50%, you're having a problem. And Birds of Prey dropped off 50% last week and then dropped off another 50%. So they're having some real problems. When you look at the locations, too, I think that that's really telling. Because look at the other places around them. You'll notice that if you open up, you're usually staying the same. Within a few weeks, though, if you're doing really well, you'll add on theaters. Like Sonic the Hedgehog has added on 31 theaters for a total of 4,198 theaters. Compare that to, say, Birds of Prey. If you go down the list, you get down to places that have been open for over 5 or 6 weeks before they start dropping off. 600 plus theaters. So that it says they have a real problem. Another thing that I find indicative of having problems at number 3 is the fact that you have so many locations and you're only making $2,104. I mean, if you look at number 1 and 2, they have 4,000 plus locations, almost 4,000 locations. And if you look at their average earnings here, they're making $6,600, $7,000 plus dollars. And then you drop down to number 3, you have $2,100. Again, if you look at how many theaters everyone else has open, they don't have that much because, again, their earnings expectations are lower. They're coming to a certain level within their marketing, like, say, 1917. I mean, you can see that, but for a number 3, that's bad. Then when you get into the domestic box office, this domestic box office supposedly in week 1 was going to be at $150 million. So, yeah, when you haven't even hit half that is not just a problem, that is a calamity. When you look at this in perspective, keep in mind a few things. Number 1, when we're looking at total box office here, this is a gauge of popularity. This is not a gauge in earnings. If we want to be honest about this, domestic box office at best earns a company 65%. International box office at best is earning 45%. So those numbers, and we'll talk about that in just a minute, they are nowhere near what you see there. You also have to keep in mind how much the production budget for this is. It was readjusted. It's gone up to $82 million from where we were considering $75 million. So for this to break even, you're talking about $164 million in earnings. Now, when we look at these numbers here, the box office domestically first is at $72,529,015. If we look at the box office and we chart that, what we see here is you have your opening, then you have your reviews come in. When the reviews come in, it actually bottoms the movie out totally from what you expect. This is a high-low, an estimate of different movies coming in at these numbers, and whether or not basically you're failing. And then from there, it adjusts to the middle. So it's still adjusting. It's still making money. But if you look at it across this slope, it's starting to flatten out. It's going to stop making money really soon. Now, if we look at the international box office too, something that hit this movie and hard is the fact that China, it has not been open for business. So you're talking about one of the biggest international markets out there taken out of the equation. And again, that's a would have been, could have been, should have been. But, I mean, if you're looking at the numbers that these places are making, you're talking about, say, Mexico here, for example, throwing in around $8 million. The United Kingdom putting in about 7.5. Russia putting in $6 million. You have France putting in 5. Australia under 5, and so on. I mean, the earnings internationally, while you have a nice number at $83 million, when you take into account each place, each position, you don't have good numbers, and especially when you start looking at the number of engagements out there. See, we already discussed the U.S. market, how many theaters that you have open. Well, if you look at these numbers here, nothing really comes close, save Mexico. I mean, everything else, that engagement there, you can tell why it's down. If China was in here, you would have 10, 15, 20 times the theaters that are open. So again, having that off the board, it may be a would have been, could have been, should have been, but still, we do know exactly what it should have done. When you start asking the really tough questions too, you know, what this is truly making, that's when you get into some interesting figures. I mean, taking that $72,529,015, factoring it in at 65% take home for the company. I mean, that is a best case scenario. I figure it's got to be close to that too, because you have so many theaters with this open. But at that level, you're talking about $47,143,859 and change. Now, when you start comparing the international market in this, the numbers, they get a lot softer because we're not talking at 65% at best. What we go down to is about a 45% on average. So you have this huge number out there at $83,590,089. But if you're only considering less than half at 45%, you're talking about an earnings of $37,615,540 and change, which really, I mean, when you compare that, that is a bad number. Remembering again that you're going to need $164 million just to break even as a company. When you strip away the gloss and the veneer, you know, saying this is what we truly made here, this is what you're actually looking at so far. 3 weeks in, starting to have a plateauing effect, and you're talking about $84,759,399, aka you're going out and failing, and especially when you consider what came before this with Suicide Squad. See, Suicide Squad had a much larger budget at $175 million, and of course you need to double that to say, hey, we're going to break even here, so you needed around $350 million. If you're looking at these numbers here, you see the domestic box office, you have that come in at $325,100,054. You have international box office coming in at $420,959,833 for a worldwide total of over $700 million. I mean, we're setting at $746,059,887. On top of that, you have your domestic DVD and Blu-ray estimates. And I mean, when you come in with that, you have almost another $100 million off that. Again, that's not getting into the calculations on your breakdown, but still, you more than break even. You more than go out and make your money. You know, you got to feel pretty good about this. Additionally, if you look at the box office for that, I mean, what you see here is a movie that just keeps rising. I mean, that was one of the surprising things about this movie. It made bank. When the reviews started coming in, it didn't hammer this movie down. What this movie did is it performed well above its then estimate. This widens over time. And then what you have is the plateauing effect. It doesn't even really start to kick in heavily until you've made almost $300 million within your domestic box office. There was also the decision to leave out a specific character after that specific character ended up with a worldwide box office of over $1 billion. I mean, I'm not going to break down the Joker numbers, but just look at that for a second and ask yourself, why exactly would you decide to leave this character out? Why would you treat Harley Quinn like, oh my God, we got to get away from this character when this character is the epitome of a cash cow? I mean, seriously. But anyway, anyway, I thought that this was an interesting breakdown. I'm curious what you think about that. Do you think that Hollywood will ever learn a lesson from it? I doubt it, but hey, you never know. So anyway, I wanted to thank you for showing up. Thank you for being here. You make this stuff possible. If you want to subscribe to the channel, share videos, that's awesome, but you just being here matters. So I thank you for it. I'll waste no more time of yours except to thank you. I don't want to monopolize it. I do appreciate you showing up. People don't tell you that enough. So thank you. You make this possible, and we'll continue this on Monday. Thank you.